Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. What if I told you that a single coin, one that could be sitting in your old drawer, tucked inside an old coin jar, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? That's right. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with NO mint mark has become one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin history. And if you're watching this, you might just have one. Introduction and audience hook. Welcome back to the channel, where we help you uncover the hidden value in your old coins, collectibles, and family heirlooms. If you're aged between 30 and 70 and thinking about selling your old coins or just curious if your change is worth a fortune, this video is for you. Today we're talking about the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, specifically one without a mint mark, and how one rare error has turned this coin into a million-dollar marvel. Quick Kennedy half-dollar history. Let's rewind for just a moment. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It quickly became both a collector's item and a symbol of national remembrance. Initially made with 90% silver, the composition changed over the years. By 1971, the U.S. Mint had moved to a copper-nickel-clad version, and most coins after that were produced with little intrinsic metal value. But not all coins are created equal. Most 1972 Kennedy half-dollars were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S for proofs. The no-mint mark coins from Philadelphia are the most common. One extremely rare 1972 coin was struck with the reverse of a 1971 S proof. This die error, a mismatched reverse, makes it one of a kind. Only a handful were discovered, and the sharpest, most pristine example sold for $1.6 million at a private auction. This isn't just any 1972 half-dollar. This is a coin with a story, a fluke of minting history, and a jackpot for collectors. How to identify the rare error? So, how can you tell if your 1972 half-dollar is the one worth millions? Look for fine details, especially the tail feathers of the eagle, the shield lines, and the shape of the stars. They match the 1971 S-proof design, not the regular 1972 NO mint mark. It must have no letter under Kennedy's neck that would indicate Philadelphia. Condition. It should be in excellent condition, ideally uncirculated or proof-like. Because this error is so specific, it's best to get your coin authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Why it's worth $1.60 million inch, you might be wondering. Why would a collector pay over $1 million for one coin? Rarity plus condition plus story. This coin is believed to be one of only one or two known, with a significant die mismatch, and it's tied to an important time in American minting history. To elite collectors, a coin like this is the holy grail, and they'll pay handsomely for the chance to own it. What to do if you think you have 1 inch? If you're now scrambling to check your coin jars, here's what to do next. Gather all your 1972 Kennedy half-dollars. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to closely inspect the reverse. Compare with online reference images. Use trusted numismatic sources. If you suspect an error, get it graded immediately. Don't sell it to a pawn shop. Contact a reputable coin dealer or auction house. If you're between 30 and 70 and thinking about selling coins you inherited or collected in the past, do not rush. Many people unknowingly sell rare coins for pennies on the dollar. Research coin value online, try PCGS price guide or heritage auctions. Consider professional appraisals, watch for errors, low mintage years, or silver content. Final call to action. That 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in your drawer could be worth 50 cents or $1.6 million. The only way to know is to check. So go dig through that old coin jar, inspect your collection, and who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune. Like this video if you found it helpful. Share it with someone who loves coins, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden coin treasures. We're diving into the fascinating world of rare U.S. coins, and one coin in particular. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, rumored to be valued at a stunning $1.30 million. If you're between 30 and 70 and thinking about selling your old coins, don't go anywhere. This could change everything. First, a little background. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It was meant to honor the beloved leader, and Americans quickly began collecting these coins as keepsakes. BY 1974. The coin was no longer made with silver, it was copper-nickel clad. Still, it remained one of the most recognized coins in circulation. Now, most 1974 Kennedy half-dollars were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark, usually proof coins. But here's where it gets exciting. There's one version of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar that stands out. A no-mint mark variety that experts believe was accidentally struck using the wrong die, possibly intended for a proof strike or with a unique error. The coin in question is in exceptional condition, with what collectors call deep cameo contrast, mirror-like fields, and razor-sharp details. It's believed to be a unique error coin, possibly a test strike or a misstrike that somehow escaped the US Mint. And here's the kicker. A verified example of this coin has been valued as high as $1.3 million by collectors and auction experts. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one? No mint mark under Kennedy's neck. Nearly uncirculated or proof-like. Deeper shine, sharper relief, or missing design elements. Get a magnifying glass. Carefully inspect the date and mint area. If you suspect anything unusual, don't clean the coin. This can destroy its value. Instead, take high-resolution photos and contact a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. Okay, let's say you think you've got something valuable. What's next? Send your coin to a trusted grading service. Find out its true market value. You can go with reputable auction houses like Heritage AuctionsPay. If you're confident, private collectors through coin shows or dealers, always get multiple opinions before you sell and never rush. Remember, a coin like this could fund your retirement. Even if you don't have the $1 million 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, your collection might still be worth a fortune. Early silver Kennedy halves from 1964, 1970, these coins regularly sell for thousands. Your old coins could be more than just pocket change, they could be treasure. Especially that mysterious 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, so dig through your drawers, check your coin jars, and look carefully. You might be holding something truly priceless. Like this video if you learned something new. Share your coin stories in the comments. Subscribe for more hidden coin treasures and valuation tips. Imagine finding a coin in your old change jar, a coin that looks ordinary, but turns out to be worth over $1.60 million. Well, that's exactly what happened with a rare 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. And if you're over 50, chances are you might have one too. In 1971, the US Mint made a big change. They stopped using silver in most coins, including the Kennedy half-dollar. From that year on, these coins were supposed to be made from copper-nickel clad. But something unusual happened in the Denver Mint. A few coins were mistakenly struck using pure silver planchets left over from 1970. In 2020, a collector discovered a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar that wasn't made from copper-nickel at all. It was struck on a 40% silver planchet. An error that wasn't supposed to happen. This extremely rare error coin went on to sell for $1.6 million at a private auction. Why? Because it's one of a kind and authenticated by top experts. So, how can you tell if you have $1 million coin? Here's what to look for on your 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. Look for the D below Kennedy's neck on the front. That stands for the Denver Mint. A regular coin should weigh about 11.34 grams. The silver error coin weighs around 11.5 grams. Gently drop it on a wooden table. A silver coin will produce a high-pitched ring, while clad coins have a duller sound. Silver coins have a clean edge, while clad coins show a brownish copper strip. For anything suspicious, send it to PCGS or NGC, the two most trusted coin grading companies. Now, I've seen folks rush to sell their 1971 D coins thinking they've hit the jackpot, only to find out it's worth just 50 cents. Because 99.99% of these coins are not silver. Cleaned coins lose value. Fake errors are common. Weight and metal content are everything. So what's a regular 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar worth? 50 cents to $1.02 to $10 up to $1,000. But extremely rare, still, it's worth checking. You never know what's in your drawers. Let me give you 3 things that can make any old coin worth a fortune. Low mintage or accidental errors, the fewer scratches, the better if collectors want it. The price goes up. Here's a simple coin checking toolkit you can use at home. A digital scale to check weight, a magnifying glass or loop to read small mint marks, a coin appraiser or grading service for serious finds. Use sites like pcgs.com or ngccoin.com to look up real-time values. If you believe you've found a rare coin, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can cut its value in half or worse. Put it in a small Ziploc bag or coin flip. Take clear photos under natural light. Contact a professional coin appraiser or send it to pcgs/ngc for grading. And if you want help finding an appraiser near you, drop a comment below. I read them all. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar that sold for $1.6 million is one of the rarest coin finds in modern U.S. history. And while the chances are slim, they're not zero. So check your old jars. Dig into those shoeboxes. You might be sitting on treasure. If you found this helpful, like this video, subscribe and share it with someone who might have old coins lying around. And if you've got a coin you're curious about, drop a comment or email me a photo. Let's see what you've got. Could that old 1976 Kennedy half-dollar sitting in your drawer be worth over $1 million? You heard that right, $1.5 million for a coin that once bought you a cup of coffee. If you're 30 or older and have a jar of old coins lying around, you need to watch this video. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a rare 1976 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar that stunned the coin-collecting world. This isn't just some internet rumor. Collectors and numismatists, that's the fancy word for coin experts, have confirmed that some rare varieties of this bicentennial half-dollar are insanely valuable. And you could have one sitting in your pocket change right now. In 1976, the U.S. Mint celebrated America's 200th birthday, the bicentennial. To honor this event, the Mint redesigned the reverse of the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins for 1 year only. Instead of the usual eagle, the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar features Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Most of these coins were minted in huge numbers, over 500 million, so generally they're only worth face value or maybe a couple bucks in perfect condition. But a few extremely rare errors or varieties make certain versions incredibly valuable. The million-dollar question, literally, is this: does your 1976 Kennedy half-dollar have a mint mark? Most coins were struck in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But some 1976 no-mint mark coins were struck with an ultra-rare error or on the wrong planchet, like a silver planchet or even a foreign coin blank. One example of a no-mint mark 1976 half-dollar, struck on a 40% silver planchet intended for proof coins, sold for over $1.5 million in a private sale. Its rarity, condition, and error type made it a one-of-a-kind treasure. Look at the edge. If it looks silver all around with no copper line, it could be 40% silver. Check for a mint mark just above the date on the front. If it's missing, you might have a rare one. Weigh it. A standard-clad half-dollar weighs about 11.34 grams, but a silver version weighs around 11.5 grams. Off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned designs increase value. If your coin seems unusual, don't clean it. That reduces its value instantly. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and value it. You can even list it for auction on platforms like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. Even if it's not the million-dollar variety, some 1976 half-dollars in high-grade condition still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One retiree in Texas found a rare 1976 half-dollar in his father's military keepsakes. It ended up being worth over $25,000. Another woman bought a $10 bag of coins from a flea market and discovered a rare silver error worth thousands. These coins are still out there, and many people your age are cashing in simply by checking their coin jars, old purses, and sock drawers. Whether you're 35 or 70, your old change could be your hidden treasure. Go check those Kennedy half-dollars, especially the 1976 ones, and see if you've been sitting on a fortune. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends or family who love coins or just want to make a little extra cash. Hey there, coin lovers. Have you been holding on to old coins, wondering if any of them are worth big money? What if I told you one specific coin, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark, could be worth as much as $1.6 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single coin from your change jar could be life-changing. But before you rush to cash it in, you need to know the facts. So, let's dig into the mystery and value behind the 1971 no mint mark Kennedy half dollar and what makes it so incredibly valuable. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It was created as a tribute to a beloved leader, and Americans embraced it immediately, both emotionally and as collectors. Originally minted in 90% silver, the coin changed over time. By 1971, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint removed all silver from the half dollar. That year's coins were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. But here's where it gets interesting. Most 1971 Kennedy half dollars were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and only the ones from Denver carry a demint mark. Those from Philadelphia, they typically don't have a mint mark, and most of them are common. So, what's so special? In total, over 155 million Kennedy half dollars were minted in 1971. That makes it seem like these coins should be worth only face value, right? But here's where it gets wild. A few rare 1971 coins were mistakenly struck on 40% silver planchets, left over from earlier years. That's right. These error coins look just like the regular 1971 half dollars, but are secretly made of silver, and they weren't supposed to exist. In recent years, rumors have spread, and in some cases confirmed, that one of these 1971 no mint mark Kennedy half dollars sold for over $1.6 million at a private auction. The coin? It was a silver planchet error, graded in mint state, and considered a true 1 in a billion find. Rarity, condition, and the dramatic story behind its accidental creation. Only a handful of Silverstrike 1971 Kennedy half dollars are known to exist, and among them, one in pristine condition can command a jaw-dropping price. So, how can you tell if your 1971 Kennedy half dollar is special? Here are a few tips to check. Weigh the coin. Regular copper-nickel coins weigh about 11.34 grams. Silver-clad errors weigh closer to 11.5 grams. Use a magnet. Neither coin should stick, but it's a quick metal test. Look at the edge. If you see a solid silver edge, instead of the usual copper stripe, it might be silver. Get it tested or appraised. Reputable coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm authenticity. And remember, never clean the coin. It can drastically lower the value. If you think you've got something special, don't rush to sell it at your local pawn shop. First, do your research, get it graded, and consider reaching out to reputable coin auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers. These companies can help you connect with serious collectors and potentially get top dollar for your treasure. That 1971 Kennedy half dollar sitting in your drawer might just be worth more than you ever imagined. Whether you're a collector or inherited some old coins, now is the perfect time to take a closer look. Who knows? You could be holding a piece of American history and a ticket to financial freedom. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more valuable coin stories. Got an interesting coin? Drop it in the comments. We might feature it in our next video. We're diving into one of the most talked about coins in the collector world, the 1977 no mint mark Kennedy half dollar. Rumored to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Is it real? Is it hype? And could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stick around because I'm breaking down the facts, the fiction, and everything in between. Let's start with the basics. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It quickly became a popular commemorative coin, not just for collectors, but for the general public too. By 1977, millions of these coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. Here's the key part. Coins from Philadelphia that year do not have a mint mark. So if you flip your 1977 half dollar and don't see a mint mark under Kennedy's neck, congratulations, it's from the Philly Mint. So why are people saying this coin is worth $1.5 million? Well, it started from a few viral posts online claiming that certain error coins or rare versions of the 1977 Kennedy half dollar had fetched record-breaking prices. There is no verified auction where a 1977 no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar sold for $1.5 million. That price tag is mostly based on misinformation or misinterpreted coin errors. Now, that doesn't mean your coin is worthless, far from it. Some rare 1977 half dollars can be worth hundreds or even thousands, especially if they have specific errors or are in pristine condition. Here's what to look for to know if your 1977 Kennedy half dollar is worth more than face value. Things like off-center strikes, double dies, missing elements, or planchet issues can dramatically increase value. Coins that are graded MS65 or higher, that's mint state, by PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds. Though rare, some proof errors slip into circulation. These are valuable. The sharper the design and the more brilliant the finish, the more collectors will pay. For example, a 1977 Kennedy half dollar graded MS67 recently sold for over $1,000 at auction. Be careful out there. A lot of websites and sellers prey on hopeful coin owners by claiming their coin is a guaranteed jackpot. Truth is, unless your coin has a documented error, is professionally graded, or is in mint condition, it's probably worth closer to $1 than $1 million. Always do your homework. If someone is offering you thousands without inspecting the coin, that's a red flag. Take clear, close-up photos of the front and back. Doubling, off-centers, weird textures. Visit a local coin dealer or better yet, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, it costs a little, but it's worth it if you might have a rare one. So, is your 1977 Kennedy half dollar worth $1.5 million? Probably not. But could it be worth hundreds or even thousands? Absolutely, if it has the right traits. If you've got one of these coins, take a closer look. Who knows, you might be holding something truly special. And if you're serious about selling old coins for top dollar, make sure you're subscribed. I break down the real values, not the myths. Like this video if you learned something new. Drop a comment if you have a coin you want help identifying. And don't forget to subscribe for more coin values, hidden gems, and expert tips. What if I told you that a Kennedy half dollar from 1980 with a tiny D mint mark could be worth up to $1.7 million? That's right. A coin you might have in your drawer, your piggy bank, or your grandparents' old coin jar could be life-changing. The Kennedy half dollar has been minted since 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. The coin became a symbol of national pride and remembrance. BY 1980, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of these coins annually. The D mint mark, located just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse front of the coin, means it was minted in Denver. Now here's the catch, most 1980 D Kennedy half dollars are only worth their face value. But certain rare errors, conditions, or unusual strikes can send their value skyrocketing. Voiceover with dramatic background music and newspaper-style headlines. You might have heard the buzz. A 1980 D Kennedy half dollar, allegedly valued at $1.7 million. But what makes it so special? According to coin collectors and auction whisperings, this price was due to a unique minting error, perfect condition, and rare die variety. While this specific coin may never appear on public auction again, it highlights a truth every collector should know. Rare variations can turn ordinary pocket change into priceless collectibles. Most coins are not worth this much. Value depends on condition, rarity, and demand. So what should you look for in your 1980 D Kennedy half dollar? Look for the small d on the obverse, under Kennedy's neck, where lettering appears doubled. When the coin design is misaligned. The coin was stamped on the wrong metal blank. A piece of the coin appears to be clipped off. Coins graded MS 67 or higher, that's mint state, can bring thousands at auction. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect details. If you're unsure, Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can help determine authenticity and value. If you think you've struck silver or gold, here's how to sell. A coin in pristine condition that's graded by a reputable service adds credibility and value. Look up recent sales of similar coins on sites like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. They usually won't offer fair market value. Certified numismatists or trusted online platforms are your best bet for top dollar. If mailing your coin, insure it. A $1.7 million coin deserves VIP treatment. To recap, while the average 1980 D Kennedy half dollar isn't worth millions, rare varieties, errors, and perfect condition pieces can be worth a small fortune if you're 30, 50, or 70 years old. It's never too late to check your old change jars, safe deposit boxes, or inherited collections. You just might be holding something extraordinary. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or need help identifying one. And if you're serious about selling, check the description for a free coin valuation guide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more coin hunting tips and real collector stories. We're diving into the mystery of the 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar and why some claim it's worth a fortune. Whether you're a collector, a curious seller, or someone who just found a coin jar in grandma's attic, stick around. This might just be the most valuable 10 minutes of your day. What is the 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar? First, let's talk basics. The Kennedy half dollar has been minted since 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. The P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced over 24 million of these coins. So, normally, a 1989 P half dollar is only worth face value just 50 cents. But there's a catch. So why are some saying it's worth $1.6 million? If you've seen online headlines claiming that a 1989 Kennedy half dollar sold for $1.6 million, here's what's really happening. Most of these jaw-dropping numbers come from misleading listings, clickbait articles, or coin dealers showcasing the theoretical maximum value for the rarest possible version. Usually a mint error coin or one in perfect condition, graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. In fact, most of these high-value coins are error coins. That could mean a misprint, a double die, off-center strike, or being struck on the wrong planchet. What is your 1989 P half dollar worth? Let's get real. Here's the actual value range for the 1989 P Kennedy half dollar. $0.50 to $1 around $2 to $5 can fetch $15 to $100 rare. Worth $300 $1, 000 plus major error coins. Potentially $5,000 to $15,000, depending on rarity. So, unless your coin has a serious error, it's probably not a millionaire maker. But it could still be a neat little windfall. How to tell if you have a valuable coin? Here's how to check if your coin might be special. Look for double lettering, off-center strikes, or odd shapes as it's shiny and free of scratches. The fewer the marks, the better. These were made for collectors and not for circulation. PCGS and NGC are trusted companies that grade coins. If you're serious about selling, get the coin graded. A high grade or rare error can dramatically increase its value. What are your options? Here are a few ways to sell your coins smartly. Great for common coins and quick sales, but watch for seller fees. Convenient, but they'll pay less to resell. Best for rare or graded coins. For rare, certified coins only. Always do your homework before selling. Don't rush into a low offer just because it sounds easy. Is it worth $1.6 million? So is your 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar worth $1.6 million? Almost certainly not. But if you have a pristine example or a rare error, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands. And if you love the idea of turning pocket change into treasure, make sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more coin values, tips, and rare finds.